Hi. So I've been thinking, right? Like, well, I just came to lie down here. I was on seeking arrangement for like this whole morning because I was pissed off at life and I wanted to like earn money. And then this guy tried to be all like really selfish with his money, and I was like, bro, like, relax. Like, it's not even that much. You could just keep it. Ugh. But anyways, I've just been thinking, like, okay, so the thing is, like, a lot of things have kind of, like, destroyed in my life, you know? Like, I feel like they've imploded on themselves. Not out of, like, anything malicious or anything, but it's just, like, the fact of, like, it just imploded. Like, I just didn't feel it anymore. Like, and I just don't want it in my life anymore, and therefore I have let it self-destruct. But what I didn't account for, I think, in that process was my inner confidence also self-destructing in that process. Like, I think I've kind of reached, well, I think, like, when I was kind of in this survival mode of, like, constantly trying to achieve, you know, like, do the inner work, do better, and be a better person, I guess, because I think I felt guilty about, like, being a bad person. But then I realized, like, I'm not actually a bad person. I just, like, don't care that much. But, and so, yeah, when I was kind of in that space of, like, okay, like, I don't care, you know, I just don't care anymore. Like, whatever, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna, and, like, relive my rebellious phase and, like, you know, integrate it more and be that bitch, you know, and just embrace it. And I realized that, you know, not caring is just, like, is just the same as, like, any other form of self-hate, I guess. I mean, and this is all pretty, like, standard, normal information, you know? Like, everyone knows this shit if you're, like, if you have any foundation of, like, self-love. You know that, like, not caring and not making yourself the main character of your story is, like, is a form of self-hate. And so, yeah, so that's why I've been applying for data entry jobs, because I've just been, like, really kind of trying to push the self-loathing, and, like, I was just like, you know, what better way to, you know, hate on myself if I just apply for data entry. So basically, I've been looking for a lot of remote data entry jobs in medical fields and also accounting, hoping to get something so I can have, like, a data entry job. And I feel like it pays decent, so I don't mind being, like, kind of brainless and doing that for now. But yeah, so I mean, back to my point for what I was saying is that, I don't know, I've just been realizing that maybe kindness to yourself is, like, a form of intimacy, right? Like, it's kind of intimate to be kind to yourself, you know? Like, don't you think? Like, it's kind of like the same thing of, like, you know, butterflies or just, like, being nice and stuff. So, I don't know. And, well, actually, yeah, I do know. That's because that's what I just said. But someone just walked by, so it's just like, I don't know. See, that's the thing. Like, I need to stop doubting myself. But anyways, I've been struggling to kind of, like, draw the line in my life between, like, what is a feeling for a relationship? Like, what is a feeling for job? What is a feeling for myself, you know? Like, I think it all kind of bleeds into another, and it's just really difficult to, I mean, I guess there are some bitches out there who are really on top of their shit, you know, and I really commend them for doing that. And I feel like there are periods of my life where I'm just, like, really, like, I got my shit together, you know? Like, I'm working out every day. Like, I look hot. I've dressed up. I've made something really beautiful to eat. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with having a, like, I don't know. It's not, it's just, like, you know, those, like, you know, people are, like, so concerned with having like everything in life that it just becomes like such a scarcity tactic to constantly keep searching for more. And while I'm just sitting here, it's kind of like, what more do I need? You know, do I need money to do this when I'm literally just freeloading? Like, what is the point? What is the point of, I don't even know, maybe that's just me being an asshole. Like, I just realizing, like, what is the point of society? Like, why are we working? You know, what is the reason? You know, is it just to keep the market going? So just so that we can have money and invest in our houses and live and do the same thing that we would do if we just like lived in community spaces together? Like, what if the government just funded our jobs? And what would we, I mean, our like community living, then what maybe we wouldn't have to pay taxes, we would just be existing. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just being I find taxes such a drag. Like, why are they taxing, like, if I fucking put money in a CD or like invest it somewhere, like these people think that they're entitled to my savings. Like, they think that they're entitled to the money that I make off of OnlyFans or like Seeking or some like random ass shit, you know? Like, do prostitutes have to pay taxes? Like, is that what the world has come to? I'm just saying, like, I just feel like, I mean, either way, I feel like sex work should be legalized, but I don't know, I was thinking about this, like, I think if you are, like me, which you have a family and you don't really eat, I mean, I guess you don't really need to do it, but you kind of need to because you don't know where else to go. Like, I think it is a privilege, but at the same time, it's like grown men who work on Wall Street doing coke, you know? It's, like, kind of the same shit. Like, it's like, you know, where's the line of, like, classist privilege when it's, I don't know. Maybe that's just me being an asshole. I'm just trying to get some shitty fucking meaning of life, bro. Like, I just think that, like, the way things have panned out is just not natural. Like, maybe it is. Like, I was watching the GameStop documentary on the stock market stuff, and that is like a perfect example of the way justice works in the universe. Like, it'll go really, really up, and then it'll go really, really down, depending on like, you know, which side you're on. It doesn't really matter. Like, justice is blind. But, like, if you notice that when you ride it out till the end, like, it kind of goes up a little bit, and then where it goes up to, like, I think it went up to 129, I don't know, something like that, like, from $4. Like, the final ending point was like 129 or something like that, according to the documentary. That was like the original justice point, I suppose. So what does that even teach us? Does it teach us that, like, if we ride out our dreams till the end, that we'll just achieve the bare minimum? Or at least, like, how much ever we invested in it, we will achieve that amount? Like, is it normal for success to be directly correlated to the amount of effort you put into it? Is that, like, a thing? And I guess, like, yeah, like, maybe it is, but, like, how do we even measure success, you know? Like, how do we measure effort? You know, is that measured in amount of work we put in? Like, is it, like, I don't know. I'm just kind of, like, in this space of, like, really, like, I know people hate existentialists, but why are we really here? Like, truly, like, what the fuck are we doing here? You know, like, what is going on? Like, what are we just here to drive around and buy shit from Sephora? I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. And I was watching this fucking video of, like, this girl, and this guy came up to her and he asked her, like, if I could buy you anything right now, what would I buy you? And she's like, bro, I've been thinking about this concealer from Sephora for ages. And I'm like, understandable, but also, like, I don't know, what would you ask for? Like, if someone came up to you and was like, yo, I'm gonna buy you anything you want right now, like, just name it. I'd be like, get me a fucking penthouse that is, like, paid mortgage, and I'll just sit there. Like, I feel like it takes a lot not that it takes a lot, because I'm actually willing to do the work. Like, I'm not like averse to hard work, because I actually kind of enjoy it. Like, I actually really enjoy it. I find hard work very pleasing. But I mean, I think it's important, right? Like, why do we not value a society that works hard on their relationships? You know, why do we not value a society that works hard on growing beautiful plants, and that's just their goal, that's just their end game? It's like, why is the only value of society to contribute to this market that exists, like, in the metaverse? Like, it doesn't even really exist, except for like these hedge fund managers. I don't know, I just learned that from the GameStop thing, so don't fucking quote me on that shit. I'm not really sure if it's even real or not. I've been trying to get into like stocks and day trading and stuff. I feel like I could be an excellent day trader. I'm really good at dealing with emotions. But the only thing is, I would need like a fucking Bloomberg terminal or some shit. Like, I'd need that $20,000. It's like WGSN. If anyone knows what WGSN is. It's all like trend forecasting stuff. Also, if anyone's looking for solutions, I just realized, like, the secret to not caring is literally being like that millisecond more happier. Like not caring, but like it's kind of like at peace with not caring, but like also being able to like question everything, and like being happy in being doubtful and questioning everything. But then at the same time, it's kind of like, you know what, like, if I'm here, like, right now on this plane, on this earth, like, on this situation, like, I don't mind being like an uncaring, cold ass like bitch with like a tiny smidgen of happiness. And I feel like that tiny smidgen just kind of changed everything. And I ground myself by reminding myself which state I'm in. I know it's like really weird, but I keep repeating like Virginia, like in my mind, and I feel like that helps. But yeah, good luck to everybody, and I hope you're doing amazing. Sending lots of happiness and love and prosperity your way. XOXO.
Yes, come on, shorty, let's go. Girl, I see you over there in the...
I think one thing that I've struggled to understand is, I understand it within myself, but I struggle to understand it for long periods of time because it just gets boring for me. But I think like after a while in life, it gets kind of normalized to be like emotionless, or like not emotionless per se, like maybe you sacrifice certain things, you know, and you have kind of achieved this ultimate reality of like, you know what I'm doing right now is best for me. And I wonder if a lot of people revert to the feeling of kindness, self-kindness, as a coping mechanism for like the inevitability of life, like the way that life plays out, and how absolutely mundane and emotionally like, not that life is unmagical. I think life can be very incredibly magical, but dealing with life without the illusion of love, you know, like many people, they don't, like after a while, well, at least what I've noticed, you know, maybe I swear, I'm sure there are like some top tier people out there, myself included, who will like fall in love and inevitably have like an incredible life, like home life. But I think like the majority of the world is used to the idea that, you know, you just settle down, like you literally settle down. And even within that world, like falling in love, settling down, like I want to settle up, like I want to be, the fuck, these fucking flies, bro. And even just the idea of that, like, don't you think it's scary? Does anyone else think that's kind of like frightening? Because like there is a point where I do get to where I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't really care about like people anymore. You know, I think like I'm okay with being like kind and compassionate and considerate, but helping people with their problems is like not really on my go-to like top tier list anymore, which at one point it may have been. And I think that is like also, what the fuck, that is also like the achieving of like inner balance, right? Like you kind of understand your priorities, and especially like if you as a young child have been taken advantage of in terms of how much other people use you as like a therapist because you understand like dynamics, relationship dynamics. So I don't have any resentment against it, but I did notice that when I kind of turned like cold and, you know, like this like sort of like hateful creature, it's really fun actually, because like I'm kind of mean and I hate the world, but at the same time it's like then I'm starting to be like, what, like the world is not actually doing anything to me, so I'm just like a festering little shit of anger, like walking on this earth being like giving random strangers mean looks. Which I do find fun because I think like it's just like it is what it is, but at the same time it's obviously not a nice thing to do, right? Like obviously you'd feel much better if someone smiled at you, duh. So I don't know, I wonder, you know, have many people achieved this sort of balance, inner balance? And also, are we doing anything like as a society other than, you know, speaking about it through communication? Because the government sure isn't doing anything about like helping us with inner dialogue and inner balance. Like, where's the education system when you need it, you know, talking about the actual validity of human emotion and how we can actually enjoy life on earth? Right? What the fuck is the point of the government? Like, I swear to God, I'm pissed off that I have to pay taxes. Like, why? Like, I swear taxes is like a post-colonial module. Like, it doesn't actually exist anymore. Like, the current paradigm of society does not exist like on the same bracket as taxes used to, like the way everything was being taxed. So why the fuck are we being taxed for everything? Like, this is actually kind of like dumb and delusional. Like, why are they calling like spiritual people delusional when anyone who believes in the government is definitely fucking delusional? And bro, I'm in Virginia, bitch. Like, I'm next to Washington DC. Like, I'd fucking walk up the stairs of the fucking White House and say this shit like on God, you know, but I don't feel like getting up. And also like, you know, I need an outfit. And like I need to update my wardrobe. I've been so isolated for so long that my wardrobe is like super like, I don't know. I'm just like, bruh, like I need a new vibe. I'm like looking for my new style. I feel like this is the journey. This channel will be like a shit post of my lifestyle. Coming back to my truest self. Anyways, bye.